Good morning. Welcome to Around the Table here at KHOZ. And today, it's not Dan and Ann. Who do I have here with me? I have Matt Bell. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning.
How you
Good morning.
doing?
I'm doing wonderful. It's Monday.
It is Monday.
It's a great day.
Are Mondays good for you?
Yeah, I love Mondays.
Do you really?
Get to get back in the saddle again, make a difference in the world. You're all rested from the weekend. Well, yesterday was Super Bowl Sunday. I don't know how much rest was had,
Right.
but yeah, it's a great day. Monday is a fun day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about your weekend.
Watched football, prepped for football on Saturday. I really didn't do a whole lot this weekend. Just kind of hung out.
Oh,
It was
yeah?
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy that, just not really having any obligations.
We cleaned out the basement a little bit on Saturday, but it was too cold to do anything outside. I'm a fair weather worker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? You can't say that because you go and hang lights in the freezing cold temperatures.
Yeah, but
I saw you doing it.
Yeah, but I've trained myself to where I get to be in the cab of the vehicle so that I'm not suspended 20, 30, 50 feet in the air in the freezing cold temps. I'm inside where it's warm.
Work smarter, not harder.
That's right. Yeah.
That's Matt Bell's approach to it
Yeah.
all, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know how smart it is, but we have a good time with the Christmas lights, too.
Yeah, and that'll be coming around again next year. But
Oh, yeah.
Matt's very instrumental in getting that done, I believe.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got a good crew.
Yeah, you do. What's going on with Explore Harrison? I mean, is there like
We're prepping
catch us
for our
up.
big year. You know, this is the 30th. Our biggest event by far and away is our Arkansas Hot Air Balloon State
Sure.
Championships, and we're prepping for that as we speak right now.
Really?
We are working on it. With it being the 30th annual, we're doing a $30,000 prize pool for the balloon pilots, and so we
For how much?
30 grand.
That's what I thought you said.
Yeah, grand prize $30,000. It's usually 10. With that big prize money, we knew we would have an influx of interest. Well, we capped it at 30 balloons. That's all we have the capacity for,
Wow.
and we're at 30 balloons. We're
Wow.
full. Yeah.
Wow, that's
So,
awesome though.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
I mean, how many
Kinda.
months down the road is that? Not 8, 7,
Yeah.
7, 8.
What are we? February.
Yeah.
We'll be launching them in September. 7 months. Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Do y'all like close the door on last year and then immediately start planning for the next one?
Yeah,
Or do you get a little?
really because that day that we hand out the awards to the pilots after the Sunday of the final day of the
Mm-hmm.
event, we start working with them. Hey, what do we need to do next year? And we hit the ground running. I mean, that following Monday, we're back in there taking our notes and trying to make it better every year.
Well, you do, don't you?
Well,
Don't
I
you make it
think
better
so.
every year?
I think so. It feels like it. I mean, the workload's not getting easier, but it is what it is. We still have a good time.
Y'all do a good job at Explore Harrison.
I think so. We're in the middle of hiring for a new sales director too. So we're taking resumes through Friday,
So,
and
Okay.
so if somebody wants to join the team, you can email your resume to me. We want somebody with either convention and meeting sales experience or a bachelor's degree. So we're looking at.
okay.
I mean, if you don't have that bachelor's, if you have the experience, because I love experience. I think if you can hands-on learn, it's a lot better than classroom learn sometimes.
Right.
So if you have the equivalent in experience, then I want your resume.
Where do they send that resume?
Matt
Resume.
at exploreharrison.com. M-A-T-T at exploreharrison.com. And the deadline is Friday.
Oh, so you've
Yeah.
got this week to get that in.
Get it in. We've got 14, I think, right now. Resumes in, yeah.
Good deal.
Some good candidates, some good quality people.
Is this Monday through Friday, or is this like got some outside time too?
Yeah, it'll
Just a
be
little bit.
primarily it's Monday through Friday,
Okay,
8 to 5, of course. But then when we have events or groups come to town, obviously we have to service those groups. We've
Sure.
got to take care of them while they're here.
Sure.
So your hours will vary depending on the job load. But, compensation is very competitive, and we have a great time. We have a really great time.
Well,
working.
you have a good work atmosphere.
I think
there,
so. I think we do. I think
Wow.
we do. We run what we call a team. We don't have a boss. We got a team captain.
Are you the team captain?
I'd like to think so.
Are you the cheerleader?
Now, every once in a while, I got to go into boss mode, but, I try not to.
Right.
Yeah. But we have a great time. We have a great time making
Again,
a difference in the community.
If you have a bachelor's degree or experience in what's the sales?
Meetings and convention sales.
Okay.
Yep.
Meetings and convention sales.
Yeah. Not necessarily a salesman that sells, widgets or duty dads, but, true meeting and convention sales experience is what we're looking for.
Well, there you go. Send your resume to Matt. Say it again.
Matt at exploreharrison.com.
Okay. And if that's something that sparks your interest or you are qualified, then hey, jump on board and be a part of it.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great place to work to me.
I like it. I may be partial, though.
How long have you been there?
15 years.
15 years.
Yeah, I know.
What was Explore Harrison before it was Explore Harrison?
Well, it was Harrison Convention and Visitors Bureau.
And you weren't involved then? Or
I was for 5 years, the first 5 years. We went through a rebranding a decade ago to make it more user-friendly for the visitors. Harrison Convention and Visitors Bureau is too much.
Yeah.
If you just say Explore Harrison, they know.
And people didn't know what CVB necessarily meant either. So Explore Harrison, that hits the nail on the head.
Bingo.
Explore Harrison.
That's it.
That's what you're promoting.
Keep it simple. What'd you do this weekend?
Not a lot of anything.
Yeah?
I did some chores, around the house, but yeah, no, I didn't. And then last night I watched the game, but it was like...
Yeah. It was a great game,
and
except for if you're a Chiefs fan.
Well, if you're a Chiefs fan, it was not a good game for you. And I think that was probably a big shock to the Chiefs.
Oh, I'd say so. They didn't come. They didn't bring it.
They did not bring it. And it was like in the second half or maybe even the fourth quarter, they finally decided to play a little ball.
Yeah, they did.
But I thought maybe the Eagles got tired. I don't know.
Desperation throws. They connected. They didn't score until way late in the third quarter was the first score of the game for the Chiefs. And then they started rocket arming stuff. And a couple of great passes, don't get me wrong. But, I think the Eagles just kind of wanted to run that clock out. Last night, they could have put on 50, 60 points easily if they would have just kept the hammer down.
The Eagles were on fire, so
yeah, they were.
They deserved that win.
Yeah, they did.
100%. So there you go. That's our commentary on the Super Bowl.
The Chefs and the Eagles.
I'm looking out the window right here, and the sun is shining quite nicely. I don't know what the temperature. 31 at the moment, according to my watch.
A little chilly.
It's a little chilly, and I'm not sure how much it's going to warm up today. I don't believe a whole significant amount, but we're going to go through the forecast. Today is increasing clouds with a high of 45, wind chill values as low as 20, and then southeast wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight is showers mainly after 10 p.m., low of 32. Chance of precipitation goes up to 90% tonight. Tuesday, rain near 38 for your high. Chance of precipitation is 80%. Tuesday night, a 30% chance of rain and a low of 30. And then Wednesday, rain mainly before noon, high of 38. Wednesday night, cloudy with a low of 18. And on Wednesday day, precipitation chance is still like in the 90 percentile. And then go ahead with Thursday if you want to, Matt.
Yeah, so Thursday we start out partly sunny with a high near 35. Got some pretty good wind gusts at about 15 miles an hour. That evening, Thursday evening, mostly cloudy with a low around 20. Brr. Why'd you give me the coldest day?
Well, lucky you.
Got some more wind coming. And then Friday, partly sunny. We will get near 45 for Friday. Yeah, we'll take that all we can get it. Friday night, however, we get a little chance of rain or snow after midnight. Mostly cloudy with a low around 35. Chance of precipitation, 40%. Saturday, let's see what the weekend holds. Rain likely, possibly mixed with snow, but mostly cloudy with a high near 54. The freezing doesn't really look to come into play there for Saturday morning. And then Saturday evening, chance of rain and snow with a low around 20. So Saturday night doesn't look good.
It's a crapshoot to me, Yeah.
You got a 50% chance of being right.
Exactly.
And a 50% chance of being wrong.
Right.
I wish that was my job. If I had a 50-50 shot every time,
we'd be in good shape,
wouldn't we? We'd be in great shape. And still keep your job even if you get it wrong more than you get it right. Yeah.
Matt and I were talking about the weather, a little bit about the temperatures are kind of on the cusp of what's going to happen. There's maybe going to be snow and ice. We are just going to sit and wait because you know how that goes. Yeah,
I'd say if you live in the boondocks and some higher elevations, you might experience a little bit worse than what we're going to see here in the community. But the salt trucks are probably already out prepping for it.
I bet they are.
They're getting ready.
They're really good about that.
Yeah, they
sure.
do a really good job.
So just be aware and be mindful. You know, it's cold, and something I always think about is having blankets or something in my car that I could wrap up in if I needed to. If something happened, you know, and you were stuck out in the cold.
And you got your loaf of bread and your jug of milk, and you got your $18 dozen eggs, all that good stuff.
Well, not in my car.
Okay.
But yes, I do have some of
Okay.
that stuff.
Okay.
Your $18 eggs.
Oh, the eggs are, woo.
They're crazy.
I know.
We have our own chickens.
Oh, you got it.
So I'm not paying that $18
You're gonna
for
start
or whatever.
dealing those eggs on the black market.
You want
Yeah.
some?
Yeah, what you got?
I'll name you. Well, I don't know. I may owe you some because you came in today.
Yeah, there you go.
While I say that, Dan is under the weather. I think he'll be back tomorrow. But Matt graciously said, yes.
Last resort. I love it.
I got to be out of
Sign
here at
me
a
up.
certain time, but yes, I'll
Yeah,
be there.
I'll be there.
So I'm
Always
I'm
a good time.
tickled about that. We are going to move on, and how about a topic to ponder?
Get up, get moving, get those thinking caps on. It's time to ponder this topic.
This week's topics to ponder are on love. Since Valentine's Day is
obviously.
Friday, Dan was following with the theme of love. And for today, our topic is, what are your thoughts about love at first sight? Do you believe? Do you not believe? Have you experienced it? What's your take?
I think that's real. I do.
Do you think it's genuine love?
Yeah, well, I mean, depends. I mean, I could love how she looks, right?
Sure.
That's love at first sight.
Is that how you were with your wife?
Oh, yeah.
See?
I've been smitten on her since elementary school.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow. How long have y'all been married?
22 years.
Okay.
Yeah, we got married at 18. We were together, formally dating at the age of 16. But yeah, her dad was my Pee Wee basketball coach and elementary school principal, and I thought she was the cutest thing ever.
And she must have thought the same.
Well, yeah, I mean,
What's not to like?
come on. But yeah,
We are so humble on
I
this.
think the feeling of love at first sight is relevant, but is it true love? I don't know. It could be there. It could be there.
It could. I think it's hard to describe that early on in a relationship when you first see somebody and don't really know a lot about them. Because I know through my marriage or through my time with my husband, I've learned a lot. You know, in the almost 30 years that we've been married, and I don't know that I could have picked that out. I knew I wanted him.
Oh, there you go.
I did.
I could
when
tell
I
by
saw
the
him,
look on your face.
I knew that that's who I wanted.
That's
but
the
he was
stud.
so shy. I had to go take the reins
Yeah.
a little bit.
My wife was a little shy, actually. She still is to an extent, but we'll call it the seed of love at first sight.
I think
the
that's
seed
good.
is planted, and then it can grow from there. How about
Yeah, I think that's great.
that? There's my philosophical reasoning there.
Do y'all make a big deal out of Valentine's Day celebration, or do you
You
just
know,
kinda,
we did in the beginning, probably more so than we do now.
Yeah.
I'll never forget the first year that my daughter decided she was sad because I didn't get her roses. And she was probably, 8, 9 years old, and I'm bringing home roses to Anna for Valentine's Day, and my little daughter, where's mine? So I had to, now I've got 2 to buy for.
Do you have how many kids do you have?
2, Isaac, he's 22, and Megan,
wow.
who is 17. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Both good kids, great. Isaac's a great employee, was a great student. Megan's a great student. Doesn't get in any trouble, knock on wood. Good kids, very blessed.
Does your son work with you then? You said he's a good employee.
Well, he's a good employee for Claridge here in
Okay.
town. Yeah, he
Okay.
works for them. He does some kind of computer design, I don't know.
Okay. I know that there's several places in town. If dinner is something you want to take your Valentine to, I don't know all the specific places, but I know there's several of them that are having special menus for
Yeah,
Valentine's Day. So that might be something that sparks your interest.
Better get on those lists
I'd say
quick.
you had.
I mean,
You know what?
better.
I'm not going out for Valentine's Day this year, but we're just going to hang out. I
Yeah,
think
and
we're
it's on
actually
a
going to keep our
Friday.
grandson,
It's a Friday this year, which is kind of convenient, but
isn't it? Though.
it kind of stinks because Friday's already a busy eat out night for
True.
families. So now you got,
True.
yeah.
Anyway, we want you to go to our Facebook page, Around the Table Facebook page, and answer today's topic. What are your thoughts about love at first sight? And you know ours, but we want to know yours. Thank you for participating.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're going to move on here.
We're doomed to repeat ourselves, so let's find out what happened today in history.
When I woke up, the room was filled with smoke.
We were on the 20th floor and our door was on fire. My husband put the fire out.
Okay, this is number 2 for your information. 44 years ago, 8 people died and 198 were injured when fire broke out at the Las Vegas Hilton Hotel Casino. And that was an account from some people that had escaped.
The threat of AIDS is so great that it overwhelms other considerations. And advertising, I think, therefore, is necessary in reference to condoms.
Now,
That was 38 years ago when Surgeon General C. Everett Koop told a House committee he favored condom advertising on television. He said it was no time for the public to be squeamish.
okay.
Oh, Trojans came alive.
I guess so.
I made a mistake in recalling the events of 12 years ago.
Okay. 10 years ago, NBC News announced the suspension of nightly news anchor Brian Williams days after he apologized for misleading the public about his experiences during the Iraq War. Williams returned, but not as a nightly news anchor.
Larry Flynt turned Hustler magazine into an adult entertainment empire while at the same time championing First Amendment rights. He spoke to CBS Sunday Morning in 2014.
No one understands that the First Amendment is only important if you're going to offend somebody. If you're not going to offend somebody, you don't need protection of the First Amendment.
Larry Flynt, who offended many, was paralyzed in a shooting decades ago. He was 78 years old when he died of heart failure after years of declining health.
There you go. Number 5.
Number 5, 4 years ago, Larry Flynt, who turned his raunchy Hustler magazine into an empire while fighting numerous First Amendment court battles, died at the age of 78 in Los Angeles. CBS News correspondent Tommy Foti had more on the controversial figure.
And this next one, I can't play the clip, but singer Roberta Flack was born this day in 1937, making her 88. First time ever I Saw Your Face would have been what we would have heard, and that's one of her, I don't know, one of her best hits, I think. And next
up, we
Wait.
got a queued one.
Go ahead.
Next up in today's history, Good Morning America co-host George Stephanopoulos, that's fun to say, was born February 10, 1961, 64 years ago today.
All righty.
There's only one way to be positive. I'd have to see the dinosaurs dropping.
Actress Laura Dern was born this day in 1967. She's 58. One of her most memorable roles is that of a scientist in the Jurassic Park movies.
The time has come for us to select one courageous young man and woman.
9.
Actress Elizabeth Banks was born February 10, 1974, 51 years ago today. One of the most memorable roles is that of Effie Trinket in The Hunger Games. Oh, that's a good one.
That was a good one. The first one was the best, in my humble opinion.
Sure.
They give me medication to make me calm, but that just makes me sleepy. Sometimes when I'm real upset, they tie me down like a balloon so I don't fly away.
Actress Uzo Aduba was born this day in 1981, making her 44th. Aduba won 2 Emmys and 2 Screen Actor Guild Awards for her performance as Suzanne Crazy Eyes Warren in Orange is the New Black. Did you watch that?
I couldn't get into it. I don't know.
It took me a long time,
Yeah.
too, and I was like, I don't know that I would follow suit. All right, we have Shauna Burns in the lobby, and she is going to talk about the adventures of a little visitor that they have. A raccoon named Ruby is what they've named her. So I was interested in finding out the story about Ruby, and we'll catch up with her after these words from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
This week's special guest star, Nashville recording star, The Kindles. So make sure you're tuned in right here, 10 a.m. Sunday morning.
TV channel 26.1.
Welcome back to Around the Table this fine Monday morning, and we have in the studio with us Shauna Burns, and Shauna has been in to talk about seed digging, which if we have time we'll dig in there, but what I've asked Shauna to come talk about is a story that I've seen play out on social media with Ruby the raccoon. So this sparked my interest to find out. Tell me how in the world Ruby entered your lives and what that's like to have this raccoon that's just so endearing and precious.
She is absolutely precious. So my niece's family found 3 babies and they were abandoned.
Oh.
And so when they began syringe feeding them and kept them for a while. And I believe when we went to her graduation and they had these 3 baby raccoons with little collars on.
No.
I was, oh my goodness. You know, everybody says, oh, it'd be cool to have a raccoon. I've never even been close enough to, know really what a raccoon really does or how they act. And they were the neatest little things. And they were so peculiar because it was like, sometimes they act like dogs and sometimes they act like cats. They'll purr like a cat, really loud.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And then like a dog, they'll jump up and down and just make these funny little movements. Like they're just amazing. But my niece graduated, and the next day we were leaving, and they said, hey, do you guys want one? We need to find good homes.
Oh, wow.
And I thought my husband's gonna like say no way, but
right.
we were all like, let's take a raccoon. So we made a long trip home with Ruby the raccoon. We had a little carrier for her, and then that's really where it started. And now she's a farm raccoon. We kept her for about 2 months. It was in the summer, so it was like May to August, and we knew that when we went back to school, we wouldn't have a lot of time to be with her, and so I wanted her to start acclimating to the trees. We live on a pretty good sized farm,
So you had to, you raised her, I mean, as an infant, if you want.
Yeah, we syringe fed her for
probably
another month. Yeah,
Oh
we
my
syringe
gosh.
fed her, and then started introducing her to foods, and we also had a baby kitten at the same time because I didn't want her to stay home alone when we would be at work or wherever. So we had we had a nice little cage outside for her, so she could also kind of get used to the dogs, and they could kind of get used to her. And we would put the kitten in there, and they were best friends. I mean, absolutely best friends. And
really?
to
Wow.
this day, when she comes home, she'll jump on the cat. The cat's not so much as fond of her as she used to be because she's pretty aggressive with her.
Right.
But yeah, they were raised together, and then they kind of launched together. So.
How did you keep from getting so attached that you knew that your goal was to let her go back to go into the wild? I guess you had to keep that mindset.
I did, and I have friends who have their raccoons, outside in really nice cages, and it was tempting because we love her so much, but I just, I've always been raised on a farm, and animals get to roam free, and we don't, we're not in a city. We're 20 minutes away from, being around a lot of traffic, and so my heart just couldn't do that. And then I also knew that we would be gone a lot when school started. My kids are in sports,
right? And
so we just slowly acclimated her. We have trees, and she would go up the trees, and she would come back down, and then she would go up another tree and come back down, and so that's really, yeah.
How early on did you start doing that with her?
Oh my goodness, probably the beginning of August. We put her outside, and she just ran up the tree like it was, and she would play and run, and we started realizing she loves this.
Yes.
She wants to be outside. Our dogs would growl at her, but we would, make them smell her, and we would make them kind of be together. She kind of ruled the roost for a while. Like, the dogs could not growl at her without getting in trouble. And then she comes home sometimes like 3 days in a row, and then sometimes it's every 5 days, sometimes it's every 7 days, but so far she's still coming home.
Wow, so she just do you leave, does she come knock on the door?
So funny story, my niece's sister raccoon actually goes in their house at night and just hangs out. I think they have like a little swing set.
You need a doggy door.
I know, I thought about that, but we live on a farm, so no telling what else we would get in there.
Yeah. That's true.
But we put cat
raccoons
food out.
welcome, but not armadillos.
Oh yeah, or skunks. We have skunks that come and try to eat our dog's food, and so we actually keep food on the porch just because, and it's lit up, so we want her to smell it and come back. She loves cat food. She loves dog food. She loves bacon. She loves marshmallows. And sometimes when she's on the porch, we'll draw her inside with some of the not so healthy food. And she loves it. She loves it. So you have to be careful because she'll bite your finger too if you get it too close. Because she goes to town on her food.
They've got claws. How did you transition into being able to not get the pee waddling?
Well,
clawed out of you with her.
Well, it's interesting. We right off the bat, we took her to a vet, got rabies shots. We I can't remember what we gave her, but they said that sometimes they can get a neurological disease. So she got all of her shots right off the bat. We wanted to make sure she was covered. And because she bites. I mean, she's a raccoon. She's a wild animal.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's a wild animal. But we've just learned that, she'll give you kisses too, but you have to be really careful. We had a friend that told us that a vet once told him that they are genetically like a perfect blend between a dog and a cat. If a dog and a cat had a baby, it would be a raccoon. And that makes so much sense because they have the characteristics of both. So.
And you have a cat and you have dogs, and everybody, when she comes back to visit now, how's that like?
So now we typically know she's back because we hear the dogs. They have a little noise. We're like, oh, it's Ruby. So we'll run outside and open the door, and typically you'll see her on the porch, but I'm sure just being out in the wild, she's more timid. So sometimes we'll shine our light outside and we'll look for her eyes, or we'll look for her up in the trees, and we'll go out there and just call her and talk to her, and it takes her probably a good 5 to 10 minutes to come down.
But she'll come.
Yeah, she'll come down.
So she visits in the evening then?
Yeah,
because
it's usually,
that's when
they're nocturnal. So they do.
Okay.
Yep, she will come. It's usually dark. And then by the morning, you know, she'll come and play sometimes for 30 minutes, sometimes for an hour. The last time she came in the house and she just went up on the couch. Of course, we put a blanket down because she's a wild animal. And we're like, oh, clean up.
Right. Well,
it's
yeah.
Not, you know, she's a little wild animal, but have a little blanket, and she just fell asleep. So sweet.
Aw.
But then when she's ready to go, she goes straight for the door and starts like looking towards the handle, like, let me out.
She knows.
Time to go. I need to go.
Time to get to my perch.
I think that's so cool.
Yes.
What would it be like if she comes back with babies?
I know.
Everybody says that, and I'm so hoping that she does. The only fear I have is that the dogs, you know, they're dogs too, and so that is a fear. We had thought about having her fixed. You know, my niece's little raccoon is fixed, but I wanted to keep every possibility of her being in the wild and surviving and having that, you know, feisty part about her. I didn't want anything to calm her down.
Right.
So
well, you want her to be able to survive in the wild too.
That's
you don't
right.
want her domesticated.
Yeah, and she's pretty. I mean, she does not like the dogs to. I mean, she will jump on them too. Like she fights, but they're like friends, but they're not really that close. Like a cat and a dog. They'll tolerate each other, but you better not get too close to me.
So have you seen other raccoons come up?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay.
From everything that I read, I think breeding season is coming up right now.
Okay.
So and we always, when we get her, we're looking to see if there's any signs of pregnancy. And
sure.
We've not seen that yet. She was very skinny the last time she came to, and of course that made me a little sad because I thought, but what I also read is they go into like a partial hibernation. It's not like a full hibernation, but when the weather's super cold, they may sleep for quite a while, and so that's how we justify when we get really sad that she hasn't come around. Like the last 5 days,
Maybe
she
she's
hasn't come
sleeping.
around. Yeah, she's sleeping. Maybe she's preparing.
What do raccoons? What does that look like sleeping? How do they burrow somewhere?
So that's a great question. I really don't know, other than what I experienced was we took her camping once, and that was actually the first when she was a little baby. We had the little
She put
carrier.
a collar on her?
Yeah, she had a little
harness.
veil. We sure did, and she went up in the tree, and I was really scared. I thought, oh my goodness, how are we going to get her down? And she came down. We had bacon. You know, she smelled the bacon. She came down for her food.
If you want to get a raccoon, you give it bacon.
Yes, exactly. And then there was a smaller tree that I thought worst case scenario we could get in the back of the truck and get up there and get her. She went up in it. It was daytime. We actually have pictures, I think, tagged on Facebook at Ruby the Raccoon. You can probably see those pictures.
Oh, there you go.
And there's a little, like, where the middle of the tree is, like, almost like a little hole. You would see her just sprawled out, sleeping. So
how fun.
I'm assuming they find little holes or, you know, areas in the trees that they just sleep. So.
Wow. So that's how I've been following Ruby, is like following her Facebook page. She needs her own Facebook page.
I've had so many.
Ruby the Raccoon.
I've had so many people say that. It's so funny. If you do the hashtag Ruby the Raccoon, there's actually tons of apparently Ruby the Raccoons in the world. So I thought about doing something specific. Eventually, I might go back and be like Ruby the Raccoon Burns, you know, so people know that's our Ruby. And I've had people say, you should do TikTok. I wish I had time.
Right.
I wish my kids had time because she is so fun. And I want to always save those memories for the day that she doesn't come home.
Right.
So.
Well, I've enjoyed watching the whole process and continue to do so. But you said you're busy, and I'm going to divert a little bit as to why you're busy, because I know you're with Seed Digging.
Yes.
Which is a therapy services.
Yes, mental health counseling.
Okay.
Training services.
You just moved locations?
Yes.
To where?
To 716 South Pine. So Dr. Poe,
yes.
dentist, his office, wonderful location, and has 7 offices. It was just a perfect spot, especially as a mental health counselor. We looked at several doctors' offices and great buildings, but if you think about a medical bed and little office is really
it's
small.
Sterile and small.
It's very tiny.
Yeah.
In a dentist office, it was perfect size for what we do. So it's been awesome.
What kind of counseling? People might be listening that didn't hear your interview last year, and just give them a little bit of a overview.
So Seed Digging, mental health counseling. We offer mental health counseling services. We offer school-based mental health counseling services. Seed Digging is kind of a funny name. People always say that's such a
that makes perfect sense to me, though.
What is Seed Digging? Yeah. But really, it was created years ago for children, and the concept was, if you look at a child, if you could understand that they really are a beautiful garden, it doesn't matter how messed up they are, it doesn't matter what they have going on in their life, they're still a beautiful garden. You just have weeds. So we look at that as you don't throw the garden away. If you pull the weeds out, you can restore the garden. And so it's really a sustainable model, actually created about almost 2 decades ago.
Oh, okay.
And the concept, it's really a sustainable model. We put the tools in the hands of the client. We work with children and adults of all ages, and our goal is that they learn how to pull the weeds out of their own garden, because, hey, it'd be great. It's job sustainability for us to keep clients in services forever, but that's not right, and that's not okay. And we have the belief that they can get better, and we have seen thousands get better through the years. And so
you give them the tools to help to pull their own weeds.
Absolutely. Yes, because like I said, we believe that it's within all of us to get better. It's just my job as a counselor to teach you how to use those tools.
Right.
So, yeah.
Do they have to have a referral to come see you,
Nope.
or is this something they can just call your office
absolutely.
and want to
Yep,
talk?
Anybody can come in. I do a lot of trainings in the state as well, and I travel because we do a lot of mental health services in the schools. And sometimes it's not just the counseling piece, it's educating teachers, once again, to see the garden. Not just the weeds, like let's see the garden of these amazing kids. And when you begin to see that child, I always say, for the beautiful garden that they really are, it changes our approach to them.
I'm sure, because I think you can reject a lot of, if it's behavior that's caused by who knows what, then you can reject that and reject the child in the process. And you don't want that to happen with kids. You want them to see their value, and then maybe they can start repairing with the help of a professional, for sure.
1,000%.
Wow.
So,
well, how does what's your phone number there if someone is interested, or do you have a website too?
Yep, we have a website, seeddigging.com. It's just as it sounds, seeddigging.com. And then our phone number is 870-204-6016. I had to think about that. But yeah, we're there, and we're also on Facebook, so you can like and follow our page. And today's actually Monday, Mental Health Matters Monday, so I'll be posting something soon. We have tips that are going on every Monday, so just ways to reset your brain, and just even, once again, for everyone of all ages, just knowing how your brain works is huge. If you knew how your car worked every time it broke down on the side of the road and you had tools to fix it, same thing with our mind. There's so many things that we can do, just little things that you would have no idea can truly change neurotransmitters and how you feel.
Wow. A lot of times I think there's a stigma there that doesn't allow people to either receive those thoughts, or realizing that they can do that themselves. And
absolutely. We're raised in that generation that, pull your bootstraps up, and Great Depression era, grandparents, great-grandparents. It was really, we're stronger than that. We tough, get out there and work. We don't work, we don't eat. And our generation's different.
You have to treat them differently.
Absolutely.
Well, it sounds like seed digging, if that's something that, you feel like you would benefit from, certainly give them a call, or give Shauna a call, whoever they talk to, but at their new location, and take advantage of that. Wow. Well, I'm going to wait for Ruby's own Facebook page. Maybe she'll have her own YouTube channel. Yes, I don't know.
I know. If we have anybody out there that would like to help me set that up, hey, you got it. We'll create one.
Volunteers are welcome.
Yes.
Well, I hope she comes back.
Me too.
This week for Valentine's Day.
She comes back. Wouldn't that be great?
For Ruby on Valentine's Day.
We have Valentine's Day goodies if she comes back. So Ruby, if you're listening, I think that's what you for you.
Well, Shauna, thank you for taking time out this morning to talk about that.
Thank you. Thank y'all for having me.
We need to take another break, and we'll do that, and we'll be back after these messages. Stay with us. Welcome back to Around the Table with Ann and Matt.
Ann and Matt.
That sounds so odd because
Because it doesn't rhyme?
Exactly. And I'm not used to putting my name first. We don't normally do that, you know?
We could say Ann and Matt the Man.
You can say whatever you want.
Ann and Matt the Man.
Matt the Man. I like Matt the Man.
It rolls.
Matt the Man and Ann. But we'll go
rolls.
I get to go first.
You go for it.
We have a few things that we're going to talk about with local events. And one of them for today until noon is bigdeals.com has savings up to 50% off retail. And that ends today at noon. So if that's something, go to moreworkbigdeals.com and go check out all the deals in our area as well as the Branson area and our surrounding area and get 50% off till noon. But you've got, 2 hours. Get on it.
Get her done.
Get her done. Also, at the Boone County Library, the Boone County Master Gardeners will be presenting some series of grow your own fruits and vegetables. And this Thursday, the 13th, seed starting and transplanting of seedlings will be the one that will be available. And that is on Thursday at 5:30 to 6:30 at the Boone County Library. There's a lot going on in the next couple of months that they'll be doing.
Yeah, that Master Gardeners, they do a great job.
They do the flowers out.
They do the flowers, the hanging baskets. They do all the flower beds downtown.
Right.
And they do that out of their own back pocket. Our office does sponsor the hanging baskets, but a lot of, like every flower bed is truly out of their own back pocket.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
you know,
they do a
they
great
are very,
job.
very talented.
Yeah.
Also, the Harrison Parks and Rec are hiring for summer sports activities, and you may know something about this as well, but they're looking for concession workers. It says skills, team player, organized, good communication skills.
Yeah, $11 an hour. They're taking applications from kids to adults. If somebody just wants to make a little extra money on the side, go down to Creekside, get you an application. Okay. And, the big seasons. They got baseball coming up, soccer coming up. Basketball is already underway. Essentially, every venue, sports venue with the Parks and Rec Department is going to be full throttle, and they're trying to get enough manpower in the concession stand to satisfy all those snack cravings between games and during games.
That was a good PSA there, Matt.
There you go.
Wow. Again, you can go to Creekside for more information on that and to go fill out an application.
Yeah.
They would be interested, obviously, in hiring some summer help. The AARP Tax Aid free tax preparation drop-off service. Well, here in our area, that is on 114 South Spring, the old City Hall building. Packets are available now at Camp Jack. Services began February 6th. You need to have a photo ID, but Arlen Hickman at gmail.com is who you can contact for more information. But it's tax season. People are getting all their stuff and they want to get it done. And this is a perfect example of a way to go get free tax prep.
Yes.
And that would be nice.
Yep.
Also, there's a Valentine's bake sale going on Friday.
Bake sale. I'm looking forward to that.
Are you going to go?
Yeah, I'm going to check it out.
Some goodies?
Come on now.
This is Friday, February the 14th, and that will be at the Boone County Library from 9 to 3. The Friends of the Library are making some goodies, or someone's making some goodies, and they're going to have them for sale, and that'll help raise money for Friends of the Library. But also, it'll get you your sweet treat for your sweetie, or for your kids, or for your grandma, or for whoever, or for yourself.
Just for yourself. That's what I was going to say.
I mean, come on, right? Yeah. All proceeds go to benefit the Boone County Library, and that is a 501c, so tax deductible. And you can also probably join the Friends of the Library at this if you would like to, and that's, I think, $5 for a yearly membership. Good way to support the library. And
they do so many great programs for kids and adults. So they got adult stuff. They help, job stuff, and, they'll help you wherever they can.
You betcha.
Are you a reader?
I read. I'm not like... Go ahead. Why?
I was just wondering. I mean, I'm not a reader, but
I read my Kindle some.
There you go. Yeah. I read the newspaper.
I would rather have a book to read, like in my hand, but I'm not... I'm audio. I'll listen to it because I'm multitasking.
Right.
Do you ever do that?
Audiobooks?
Yeah.
No.
And when I do it, I get distracted, so I have to go back and listen.
The only time I think I could do that would be on a drive across country or something. You know, I've thought about that, but I don't know, man, because you read your kids' stories to go to bed. What if it's one of those kind of stories? Yeah. Not good for the road. Not good for the road.
We don't want that to happen. And just looking ahead did you find out information on that?
No, I couldn't find it.
Coming in April will be the Jeepin' for Casa.
Awesome
and
event.
So that's a huge event, and there's different sponsorship levels available. But for more information, or if you're interested in doing a sponsorship, or just being part of this whole Jeepin' for Casa, you can go to www.casaofna.org for more information on that. This is always huge.
It is. We had, I don't know, 200 or so Jeeps last year for that event.
Do you have a Jeep and go?
No, I was on Casa board up until this last year. And so I'll still volunteer and help them because I love the event. I'm not on the board anymore, but it's a big event for our community. Yeah. They do a great job.
That's amazing. And again, lastly, American Legion, I'll spit it out in a minute. Trivia nights happens at JJ's Buffalo Bar and Grill. This is with the American Legion, and it's every Thursday from 6 p.m. $10 donation to play. You do need a phone or a smart tablet to play. I'm not 100% sure what you're supposed to do because I cheat.
I don't know. I think that's it. It's like having a calculator in math class, I guess.
I guess so. There's great food and beverages, and this would be a fun time if trivia is your thing. Go check that out.
Yeah, for sure.
And guess what? We're going to take our last break, and then we'll come back with, I don't know what. Whatever Matt decides to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you just be the leader. All right. We'll be
back. Follow me.
Stay with us.
We're back.
We are back. Wow.
Back in the saddle again.
That was a quickie for me.
I apologize for my mic being a touch too loud there, boss. Thank you for listening, though. I do that every once in a while. I don't know how.
It's not you. I mean, I can control it.
Yeah, I know,
but I do the same thing.
Sometimes I get excited.
And I get loud. My voice raises every time I get excited. It's the same deal. I get it.
And I wake up so spunky on Mondays, so I mean, I just have to dial it down.
But don't you wake up spunky every day?
I do. My kids tell me you need to dial it down. My wife, hey, you need to. It's 7 in the morning. You need to dial it down.
Are you a morning person?
I love mornings.
So do I.
Top side of dirt. Hey, one quick announcement that I wanted to make. State of the City Community Breakfast, sponsored by Black Hills Energy, will take place on Wednesday, March 12. There was a scheduling conflict, so it moved to Wednesday, March 12, 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Breakfast provided. If you can attend, be sure to RSVP so they can get enough food. Reach out to the Harrison Regional Chamber of Commerce, 870-741-2659.
So, can anybody come?
Anybody. It's open to the public. The mayor will discuss some of the projects that have happened in the city, future projects, ongoing projects, etc. Really give a breakdown of state of the city address.
Good. I mean, I think that's important. And if you question some of the things, or you have questions about some of the things going on, this would be a perfect opportunity for you to go and hear it from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
And it's free.
And it's free, and yeah. What more would you want, right?
Food. It's free.
Okay. Before we go to today, wasn't there one of these little weird, trendy things you were going to talk? Cybertrucks, maybe, or something?
Yeah, this is kind of wild. I didn't know this was a thing, but Cybertrucks, they're taking over the roadways.
Right.
I mean, you wouldn't see one now. You see one, every once in a while. We've got a few floating around town here. They don't float; they actually drive. But eventually,
they may float.
But yes, so stop giving Cybertruck drivers the finger. Not everyone in a Tesla Cybertruck is a tool. There are some very nice people behind the wheel. One of the nice ones is asking you to please stop shading her when you drive by. Stop flying that bird.
Yeah.
Arizona psychologist Dr. Angela Kinslow drives around Arizona for miles and miles helping people. She says the self-driving features help her do her job, which is long and exhausting.
There you go. Don't flip anybody off.
Yeah, what are you doing? Unless if it's a friend. I mean, then you...
Well, that's a little different.
An acquaintance. That's like your howdy doody, if that's your thing, but...
If that's your greeting?
If that's your greeting.
Nanu, and all that.
Certainly never flip off a police officer.
Not a good idea.
And there's a lot of them now that are unmarked.
Yeah. So you should just keep your finger to yourself.
Yeah. Or is that freedom of speech? I don't know.
I don't think that
you're not speaking. Unsaid.
You're not speaking when you do that.
It's sign language.
Okay, yeah. Today is, how about that? National Football Hangover Day. Do you have a hangover today?
I am good.
You're not. You're like,
I feel like the Super Bowl used to end a little bit later. So you know what I mean?
It was early.
Yeah, it felt early this year. Yeah.
It's also National Poop Day. I don't even want to. I'm not even going to dive into that.
What?
That's what it said. National Poop Day.
Let's go.
Loveland Letter Day. National Flannel Day. Do you wear your flannel?
I don't have any. I do have a flannel.
There you go. You need to wear that in this
weather.
My
son's a big flannel guy. He could be Mr. Brawny.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
Lumberjack guy.
National Umbrella Day.
Okay.
I don't know who comes up with these, and I'm always like, I could probably come up with some myself. National Home Warranty Day and National Clean Out Your Computer Day. None of those will be happening from Ann Limley today.
Yeah, I'm not cleaning out my computer.
We'll be back tomorrow. And again, thank you, Matt, for being here with me.
Always have a blast.
Very much. And hopefully Dan will be better and be back.
Cross
we'll see you tomorrow.
From the Beefaroo